So good morning, Colette.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for doing this
Oh, no problem.
testimonial with us today. So tell me, we're talking about the results roadmap today.
Yes.
So can you just tell me name, title, organization?
Colette Anderson. I'm from the Connecticut Women's Consortium in Hamden, and I'm the executive director.
Awesome. And so talk to us just a little bit about what was the team situation or the dynamics that were happening before we did the results roadmap process.
Okay. Well, we actually did the roadmap twice in the organization, but I'm going to talk about the most recent.
Okay, great.
There were two different occasions. The most recent time, the reason we were using it was we had some new employees had come into the organization that didn't quite fit in with the mission and model of who we are and what we were doing. And with that person in the organization, it resulted in a number of people leaving the organization and people who were working there being very unhappy with their jobs. So as we were changing and restructuring the organization, I thought it was best as we were bringing in new staff that we start fresh and kind of get rid of some of the negativity that was going on and bring the new people into a planful way of who we are and what we wanted to do. So that was the thinking behind it. So 3 new employees had started, and it was, one of them I think it was like their second day of work.
Yes.
So all 3 came on in the same month, a week apart, and then we did the roadmap with everybody.
Yes, awesome. And so you already answered really the next question, which is what were you hoping to achieve in this process?
So the main reason I wanted to do it is that I knew it was a way for everybody to share kind of their ideals and what their expectations were about the work, to get a better understanding of the direction the organization was going to go in, and kind of lay a foundation for both the employees who were still there, who'd kind of lived through this uneasy time, let's say,
yes,
and to bond well with the new people coming in.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And so the results roadmap process is really kind of unique.
It is.
And one of the aspects of it is you actually define a result.
Right.
That is the focus of the process. So I'm curious, can you share what your result was?
So our result was, to be a pioneer in the behavioral health field, effectively adopting, responding to the gender and trauma needs of our global community. So it's pretty lofty.
Yes.
And it took a lot of work to get to it. So even though that was the final outcome, we went through many steps to narrow down to that language.
We did, and it was actually, I was looking back, we started with a result that was focused just on some team dynamics.
Right.
And it evolved into a statement about global impact.
Right.
Which is not surprising with you and the organization.
So, and in the initial one that we did, it was really more focused on team and team building. And at this point, the organization moved and went much broader when we did it. So,
yes.
So we evolved as an organization the second time around when we did it, I think.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And what would you say was yours and your team's experience of actually going through the process of doing the results roadmap?
Well, I think for the new staff, it was a way for them to better understand who we were as an organization. You can come to a job interview, you could read a functional job description, but to actually hear people's responses to the questions and learn a little bit about each of the other employees in the organization, as well as share personal stuff about themselves, help us come together as a group.
Yes.
And it really was, my real ultimate goal was to help the group come together and bond as one big team.
Great. And so we did that a number of months ago. So I'm curious, what's the outcome? Is the result carrying on? How is it?
So we took the actual result and built it into our strategic plan. And we periodically review our goals and objectives in our strategic plan, which this is now a part of. And so we will revisit in a more thorough way in August, when we have our annual meeting of the team to build next year's plan. We'll look at how well did we do with this, and what are our next steps. So we're using it as our foundation.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful.
And everybody has a laminated copy of it in their office space. So it's in the annual plan. It's posted in everybody's workstation. It's on the big whiteboard in my office. So it's around the office.
It's alive. You're using
yeah,
it. You're going back
yeah.
to it. It's a North Star
Right.
for you. Great. So just as we wrap up, so any thoughts that you would share about for a leader or a team who's considering doing the team results roadmap process in terms of, what would you say to them?
I guess I would say it's both a fun process and a learning experience. So you learn more about the people in your organization. If people are open to really getting into some of the things that kind of rose to the top, there was one delicate matter that we had to kind of unpack during the process that helped everybody understand some of the dynamics of how staff work together.
Yes.
It's not like because we did this it immediately went away. We're just more aware of that issue now and continue to work on trying to resolve that matter. And really it had to do with different personality styles. So every staff member has their own style of relating to people.
Yes.
And some are more open and some are more closed and some are better at talking and others are more quiet. And how those pieces all fit together when we want to go forward with what we're doing.
Yeah.
And how that could impact a project. We could be working on a project. We are now aware that there could be somebody at the table who's less able to share, is going to keep more of their thoughts internal as opposed to others who are more external. And so our manners of communication are better understood.
Yeah, great. So any other thoughts for anybody that's watching, any leaders or
Well,
teams?
I think it's a fun way of getting at where you want to go.
Yeah.
It was definitely an exciting day. We took a team picture in front of the roadmap when all the stickies were all over it. That picture has been used in our annual plan and it's on some of our materials now.
It's in the annual report.
Yeah, it's in the annual report. So it was kind of the first time as a group we actually took a group picture, and I think that. The timing of when to do it again would be something to think about because I think you're always going forward. So having done it earlier on in the organization and then at that critical point and then thinking about maybe we would want to repeat it in a couple of years and see where we're at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Very
Colette.
useful tool.
I'm so thankful that you took the time to do this with us
Oh, no
today.
problem. No
And
problem.
thank you for who's ever watching. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.